On this episode of Power Portraits, we sit down with Sheetal Parekh, the creative force behind Beyond Canvas, a one-of-a-kind art boutique on Chennai's iconic Khada Navaskan Road. With global training from Italy to the United States, Sheetal blends fused glass, mosaic, and mixed media to create stunning functional art from custom wall pieces. Her work is vibrant, sustainable, and full of foil, bringing beauty and storytelling into everyday spaces. Welcome to Power Portraits. Okay, Sheetal. So tell me more about yourself and where you grew up and how creativity played a major role in your childhood.
Okay, so I'm born and brought up in Chennai, and I think art came to me through my mother. She was a watercolor artist. She used to dabble in watercolor at home and all that. So I think I grew up seeing her. Then my aunt also. So I think somewhere there I started getting interested in art, and that's how the journey began. Then I started learning art privately, and then so on and so forth. The journey went on. I started learning more and more mediums as I went.
Can you say which age exactly?
Maybe around 5 or 6 years.
5 or 6? Wow, that's too early.
Yeah. That's how I saw my mom learn watercolors and all. So I used to paint along, sit on the side and all. And then my aunt started learning art. So then I got into oil pastels and stuff like that. So that's how by 7, 8, I started really getting interested in art. Then we found a teacher. He used to come home and teach me. So I learned all the mediums in fine art. And then slowly it progressed. It was designing, and that's how my interest began.
Okay, that's awesome. So did you take up your college in arts?
No, actually, I've done my BCom,
Okay.
but I didn't enjoy it as much, though I was good at it. Then I started doing all the design courses. I did diplomas in interior designing, fashion, and visual designing. And then I started getting interested in various mediums and mixing it. I mean, that's where what I enjoy the most.
Was there a moment or an influence in your personal life that made you an artist?
I enjoyed the process, but I think somewhere after school, I was really confused. I should have as a career. And then I used to read a lot of books and all that. So I read this book called Lust for Life by Irving Stone. It's based on the life of Vincent van Gogh.
Okay.
And I felt his passion, and he never gave up to his dying day. And I think somewhere that inspired me.
Okay.
And that's when I sort of decided that, however hard it will be, I will pursue it.
Amazing. Where do you get all your inspiration from?
So I think a lot things I see around the various mediums that I've learned that excites me. So when I see something, I immediately start thinking if I can mix this medium, do this and do that, and that's how the idea forms.
So, as an artist, how important is to read books?
Yeah, books. And there are a lot of visual mediums, all those
Okay.
things you have to keep absorbing a lot. And then suddenly when a project or something comes, then it's like a winter going on in your head, and suddenly consciently absorbing things around you and, seeing things, watching people and all that. And then somehow when it all comes together, when, you think of an idea or a project comes up, it all comes together.
That's amazing. Perfect.
And it's a process of 2, 3 days where it all comes together.
Okay.
So
It is not like overnight you get an idea and you.
sometimes it's like very instantaneous, just know you should do this. Sometimes it takes a couple of days, like fine tuning, refining, and that goes on in the mind all the time. And then you come up with it.
Okay. I've heard from many artists that they say sometimes they have like a vacuum that they don't get any inspiration or any ideas.
Like I went on a complete pause a couple of years back. Didn't feel like doing free art and all that.
Yeah.
So I let it pass.
Okay.
But I kept learning, reading. I didn't stop. It is because somewhere you get exhausted or you get burnt out. That time I feel you should take a pause.
Okay.
Let it pass. Don't get worried about it. I think it's part of the journey.
True.
And eventually, after the 1.5 years back, I'm loving it now. I'm really enjoying my finish.
So, as an artist, how important do you think like traveling is? Do you travel a lot?
Yeah, I do. Post pandemic, not much, but I love traveling. Yeah, you see new things. I get some Bruce's heroes on their place. And meeting other artists, seeing their work and all that, that also inspires you a lot. At moments of demotivation and all that, when you see other artists and you hear their stories, it kind of pushes you. Yeah.
That's a great know because some people, not everybody, but some people might feel a little envy or jealous about other artists being good at what they are doing.
If it's always better, I mean, of course, you do feel angry and things like that. It's better to push it towards the positive.
Positive side.
Yeah.
Sure.
So something good will come out.
So tell me about Beyond Campus. How did it start and what inspired you?
So I always wanted to have a small boutique where I can display handmade stuff and all that and make things that I make. So that dream was always there. But in 2016, it kind of uh, came through and I was able to get this space and start my studio. So I think after around 2021, somewhere that idea started forming that I want a little boutique. Not too big, little small, cozy place where I can make things and enjoy the process. The key is, of course, patience because initially there's always excitement when you start an idea. Then the middle is you get nervous, then you have these doubts whether it's not coming out all right and all that. So you have to be patient, get through it, enjoy the process, the ups and downs, and then the end, you get to see that.
I know you have done a lot of quite a lot of amazing works. Can you name some of the few works which really gave you that excitement and then you were so much inspired, you wanted to do this?
Yeah, so there are a lot of projects. Currently, I'm working on a hotel project that is happening in Ayodhya. So that's been very exciting. The brief was they wanted something black and white, something that Jackie Pansri was in.
Okay.
So that was a very exciting process of coming up with the idea, the concepting it all together, and they love it. So what I did is I've taken the scripts from the Ramayana. So that's the complete background, the authentic script of Ramayana, and I took this fused glass with Ram and the marigold flowers, which are very auspicious and significant in the Hindu religion. So this was the concept with which I worked for this particular project. It has a vintage look also. That was the idea I had in mind with this particular artwork.
I know that you went to US and Italy to learn a lot of art and things like that. So what did you learn there? Like, what did you see? And
I'll just tell you the process.
Yeah.
So I first started working with Rimari. It's a corporate art services company. So there I met a lot of artists and we did a lot of big corporate projects. So that's how I got into it. And there I met a class artist called Anjali. So that was my initiation into class. And I loved it so much that I left the corporate art service. I got into glass and I apprenticed with her for a few years. And then I took it forward when I went to the US, did more like further studies and films class and things like that. Mosaic also excited me. So there I met, I contacted Julio. He's one of the top 5 mosaic artists in the world. So then I went and did a workshop with him for an hour.
Okay.
So yeah, so that was all very exciting. A lot I learned, different artists, different perspectives. Bringing in my own bit into that was like it's a very old 3,000-year-old technique for packing mosaic. So we're using that technique. We did this piece. So it took me almost 15 days, and anyway, I worked for 6 to 7 hours of this piece.
What are the challenges you have faced in turning your passion into your full-fledged profession?
So creativity is one aspect of it, but the commercial aspect is a big learning. It's quite challenging. Dealing with money, accounts, investments, all that is a little difficult. So you have to be careful. So that's something I've learned. Not get too carried away and things like that. And dealing with clients, that can be a little challenging when it comes to money. So those are some of the challenges. Then it's a one-man show. So, managing the business part of it, the creative part of it, the social media, all that is quite challenging.
Okay.
Social media is still a challenge for me. I'm still struggling with it. But you learn as you go. You get a little wiser.
So, for an upcoming artist who's just starting out, who just graduated from college, so what are the advices you would give to them?
Never stop learning. That is one thing that you have to, be open to. Secondly, is take it slowly. Try to learn under somebody.
Okay.
That's very important. Learn all the different aspects of business before you get into something of your own. These are the things I have, this thing. And of course, you need a lot of support as an entrepreneur. You need a lot of support. Yeah.
Like financial support.
Financial support is a big thing because it's expensive one and it takes time.
Jeez.
But before you start earning money, it takes time. So you can, kind of become a little impatient or get demotivated. So that time a good support system helps. And I also feel like art schools and all that, though they do a lot of creative teaching, I think one aspect they should teach the commercial aspect of doing business. I think that's where I think many artists get lost.
Okay.
They're not able to manage the business side of it. So that kind of puts them down, when it comes to money, dealing with money can be a little difficult. So I think if that training also is given right from the beginning, I think it will help a lot.
Okay.
Like price, costing, all those things if you're taught in art school, I think it will help. Because you learn everything and then you come home and struggle with these things. I think always money management for an artist should be part of the thing.
So, what messages do you hope people take away from your work?
One, I've been conscious about pricing because art is perceived to be very expensive and very elite. So I want to convey that art can be affordable also. And secondly is I want to add functionality to art. Not just like decorative, but it can have use also. So those are the two things I consciously work on whenever I make something. Affordability and functionality.
So, with Beyond Canvas, what are your future plans?
So I want to continue doing this. And probably get into teaching. That's something I'm talking about. I'm going to train for that because I really don't know how to go about it. So teaching is one thing that I want to work on. Taking on apprentices to start with. Yeah, continue doing this, taking up more challenging projects.
You being an artist and you also carry other responsibilities like a wife, as a mother, and how challenging it is to as a woman to have all these roles and responsibilities in your life.
I have been very lucky. I've got a great support system. That much I have to tell you. Be it my parents or my husband, the staff, people who help me. So that way it's been good. It has been challenging. I had those moments, but I've come through it and it's a great feeling. And each challenge you overcome, you know that much more you're capable of. So that gives you confidence to go ahead, to grow. So I think with each challenge you learn also. But then I've also learned that you overcome these challenges and you grow with it. I've understood that the good side of it is to getting nervous about it.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is sustainability important in your art?
I think it's becoming increasingly important. There's a lot of awareness with all the environmental issues that we're having. So, as artists, also, we become conscious about using materials carefully, recycling, repurposing. So, all those awareness and consciousness is there, and we're mindful about the materials we use, functionality with my art. That's something I enjoy. So, little things, the material I use, the techniques I use, I try to have minimum wastage. If I can reuse things that are old, that's something I love. Redoing and repurposing old furniture and stuff like that.
Sheetal, we have come to the final part of the podcast. So, to conclude with, how can people reach out to you and what are the services you would offer to them?
So, of course, they can directly call me. My mobile number is available. And plus, I am pretty active on Instagram. So, they can reach out to me through there also. Yeah, so a lot of things. Yeah, I've learned 4-5 mediums to use glass, mosaic. Then I do a thing called decoupage and things like that. Then I repurpose old furniture. I love to do that. and things like that. So yeah, the whole mixed bag. It is. I do customize. I do take small projects, big projects, bulk orders. It depends.
It depends.
I'm open to everything.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
It was great to meet you and get to know about you. And looking forward to working with you again.
Thank you so much, Rohit. It's been the first time you made me so comfortable.
Thank you.